I'm Emily Harper, and I built Harpergenics from a flickering laptop in a San Francisco garage into a $500 million zero-cents AI medtech empire. 8 years of my life, every line of code, every sleepless night, every dollar I scraped together, poured into a dream my sister Claire and I swore we'd share. But dreams have a way of turning sharp, and last week someone tried to kill me. My Mercedes brakes gave out on the Golden Gate Bridge, tires screaming as I swerved to avoid a semi-truck in the fog. My hands shook, slick against the wheel, as I realized the truth. This wasn't an accident. Someone had cut the lines, and I knew exactly who had the motive. The city skyline loomed through the mist as I pulled into a gas station off Highway 101, my pulse hammering like a war drum. I called my mechanic, Joey, voice low, scanning the lot for shadows. Check the brake lines. Someone tampered with them. His silence screamed louder than any warning. Emily, you sure you want to dig into this? He asked. I didn't answer. I hung up, catching my reflection in the side mirror. Pale, eyes wide, but not broken. Not yet. Harpergenics was my soul, its AI diagnostics saving lives by predicting cancer before it spread. I was the chief innovation officer, the brain behind the code. Claire, our CEO, was the face, charming investors, dazzling TED Talk crowds. Together we were Harper and Harper, unstoppable. Or so I thought. I drove to the Harpergenics Tower, its glass facade cutting through the bay's gray dawn like a blade. The lobby's marble floors and sleek ferns screamed success, but the air felt wrong, heavy, like a storm about to break. The security guard, usually quick with a grin, stared at his screen. My key card buzzed me through, but the elevator ride to the 12th floor was a descent into dread. My reflection in the steel doors looked like a ghost, the weight of the USB drive in my pocket grounding me, engraved with Harper and Harper, an utter first pitch deck, a relic of the nights Claire and I coded until dawn, fueled by Red Bull and promises. Back then, she'd called me the genius, her voice warm. Now, I wasn't sure what she called me. The office was too quiet, coders hunched over monitors, their usual banter replaced by stolen glances. My assistant, Tara, was gone. A post-it on my monitor read, "Boardroom, now." My gut twisted. I grabbed the USB drive, its edges biting into my palm, and walked past cubicles, feeling eyes on my back. The boardroom doors loomed, frosted glass etched with our logo. I pushed them open, and the air shifted, like stepping into a trap. Claire sat at the head of the mahogany table, her red blazer a slash of color against the sterile white. Her lawyer, Kessler, a wiry man with eyes like slate, flanked her. 3 board members sat stiffly, tablets glowing with unread emails. Tara hovered near the door, her HR smile plastic, not reaching her eyes. My team, coders I'd hired, mentored, shared late-night pizzas with, lined the walls, faces a mix of confusion and shame. Claire didn't look at me. She stared at her manicured nails as if I were a mess to be swept away. Emily, she began, voice smooth as glass. We're pivoting. The board's reviewed our financials and we need a leaner structure. Effective immediately, your role as CIO is terminated. The words hit like a blade, stealing my breath. The room spun, faces blurring into a haze of betrayal. What? I rasped. Jake, a junior coder, shifted, muttering, Emily built our core AI. This is insane. Claire's smirk flickered. That was then, she said, tone dripping with dismissal. Your contributions were foundational, but outdated. We're scaling, and you're not part of the vision. Dated. The word burned, a slap to the 8 years I'd poured into Harpergenics. I'd written the algorithm that secured our $50 million zero-cent Series A. In 2019, when payroll tanked, I'd funneled $200,000, 0 cents of my own savings, to keep us afloat, skipping rent to pay our team. I'd worked through fevers, breakups, and Claire's meltdowns, promising her we'd never fail. I wasn't just the CIO. I was the heartbeat. And now my sister was cutting me out, her eyes refusing to meet mine. Kessler slid a folder across the table, edges crisp, pre-printed. Your exit package, he said, voice clipped. Sign, and we'll ensure a smooth transition. Smooth, like erasing me was a PowerPoint slide. I opened it, scanning the legalese, severance, NDA, a gag order thicker than the fog outside. My hands shook, not with fear, but with rage. I could barely leash. Jake spoke again, louder. She landed the FDA contract last quarter. This is bullshit. Claire's laugh was soft, venomous. That's not how we see it. I looked at Claire, really looked. My big sister, who'd cried in my arms when our first investor bailed, who'd promised 50/50 no matter what. Her face was a mask now, polished, impenetrable. You're handling this with grace, Tara muttered, her voice hollow. Grace? This was survival. I picked up the pen, ironic, the one I'd used to sign our first patent, and scrawled my name. No tears, no screams, just ink. Neat, clean, painless. Except it wasn't. Claire nodded, clinical. Exit through the back stairwell, please. The final twist. She'd planned my walk of shame. I stood, legs steady despite the storm inside. The board avoided my gaze, complicit. Jake's eyes burned with apology, but he stayed silent. I walked out, the glass doors hissing shut. The stairwell was dim, concrete echoing my steps like a prison. Halfway down, a spark flared. My office laptop, left on my desk, erupted in a small explosion. Flames licking the ceiling, smoke curling like a warning. I froze, heart pounding. If I'd been there, I'd be ash. Someone wanted me gone. And they weren't subtle. I stumbled into the street, San Francisco's fog swallowing me. My phone buzzed. Joey. Brake lines cut clean, professional job. Watch your back, Em. I didn't reply. I walked, clutching the USB drive, its edges biting my palm. The city's pulse, honking cabs, tech bros shouting into AirPods, felt distant, like I was a ghost. No one called. Not Jake, not my VP, not Mom. I was erased, my legacy reduced to a folder and a rigged explosion. My Noe Valley apartment was a crypt when I got home. Lights flickered, a power surge humming through the walls. I dropped my keys into the bowl, the clink too loud. The fridge held ketchup packets and a lone yogurt. Dishes sat in the rack, ghosts of a routine I no longer owned. I sank onto the couch, the USB drive in my hand. It held the original Harpergenics charter, drafted over cheap wine and big dreams. Claire had said, "You're the genius, Em, I'm just the face." I had believed her. I powered up my old laptop, the one I kept for emergencies, and plugged in the drive. The charter loaded. Text dark. Clause 7C jumped out. In the event of ethics violations, shares transferred under misrepresentation revert to the originating partner. My name was there, buried beneath Claire's amendments. She'd overwritten the 50/50 split, claiming sole control. But she'd missed 7C. Why was it hidden? Had I written it in a haze, or was it something else? Someone else's hand. A rustle outside snapped me out of it. Too deliberate for wind. Through the blinds, a figure in a black hoodie stood across the street, staring up. I grabbed my phone, dialed 911, but the line crackled, then died. The figure vanished into the fog, leaving my pulse echoing. I locked the door, shoved a chair under the handle, and sat, the charter glowing. Claire's text buzzed. You didn't fit the vision anymore. Sorry it had to be this way. Sorry? She wasn't sorry. She was scared. The brakes, the laptop, the figure, they weren't random. Claire was cleaning house, and I was the mess. But I wasn't done. I searched for the patent I'd filed for our AI algorithm. My name should have been there. Instead, Claire's stared back, the filing date recent. She'd stolen it, rewritten history while I breathed. The fog thickened, but inside something ignited. They wanted me silent? I'd give them a reckoning. I dug deeper, finding emails from 2017. One from a paralegal. Gina, provisional patent in your name, Emily, finalized by April 18 or it's vulnerable. 2 months later, a USPTO confirmation showed Claire's name, my diagrams, my footer quote, "What saves lives should be born in truth." She'd erased me. I opened YouTube, typed Claire Harper TED Talk. Her red blazer glowed under spotlights. Her words, mine. Vent down to the tissue oxygenation line I'd tweaked while she sipped champagne at a gala. The audience applauded. My chest tightened. I dialed Harpergenics. A young voice answered. "Tell Claire I found the patent." Silence, then a click. I stared at my phone, a new email pinging, a cease and desist from Claire's lawyers accusing me of misrepresentation. Misrepresentation? They'd twisted the truth into a noose. I rummaged through a filing box, finding an NDA from 2019, signed at 11:37 p.m. After a 15-hour coding marathon. Claire had slid it over, saying, "You trust me, right?" I'd signed, eyes half open. Now I read it. All IP solely owned by Genix Corp's principal signatory. Claire Harper. My name was nowhere. All Tom, a law school friend in Oakland, he Skyped me, eyes narrowing at the NDA. This was edited post-signing. Metadata shows it. You didn't sign this version. My stomach lurched. What did I sign? He paused. That's your leverage. I emailed Claire screenshots of the NDA's edit history. No words, just facts. An hour later, she requested access to my Google Docs. She was terrified. Then the smear hit. My phone buzzed with notifications. LinkedIn, Twitter, a biotech gossip forum. A post with my face, cropped from a team photo, captioned, "Disgruntled ex-CIO goes rogue, claims she invented what she was fired from." Doctored emails painted me as unstable, obsessive. A blurry CVS photo called me spiraling. Hashtags like tech meltdown trended. I hadn't said a word publicly, but someone wanted me erased. At my coffee shop, the barista turned away. Regulars avoided me. I called Jake, voicemail. Then Jared, who joked he'd name his kid after me. Nothing. On a side street, I whispered, "They want shame." Then heat. They picked the wrong woman. I hovered over LinkedIn's delete button, ready to vanish. A message stopped me. Rachel Blake, a former intern. "Hi, Emily. They erased my code credits too. I have logs. I know what you built." She'd kept my build phase folders. I blinked back tears. Someone remembered. I filed a USPTO correction, reclaiming co-inventorship. Claire called, voice shaky. "Can we clean this up quietly?" I let her hang in silence, then said, "You fired me like a stranger. You don't get my silence." She hung up, her breath sharp. I met Tom above a bakery, croissants grounding me. "I want to file termination, defamation, IP theft." He nodded. "You're ready for the heat?" I said. "She dragged me through fire. I'm sending smoke." With Rachel's logs. Investor calls, memos, calendar entries. We built a case. Claire's team pulled smear posts. 2 board members resigned. A watchdog, Bioethics Now, dropped a 30-page expose on Claire's falsified AI trial data, citing my ignored 2023 memo. My name trended again. Whistleblower vindicated. In court, Tom presented Klaus 7. Claire's face twisted as the judge ruled. Her shares reverted to me. She lost her board seat, voting rights gone. Rachel was quietly fired, taking a deal. Leaked audio of Claire plotting my removal, sealed her fate. I didn't stay for applause. I rented a small office by the bay, started a fund for women founders. Grit, no flash, one interview, a local station. I wore Mom's old bracelet, the one Claire called a trinket. The reporter asked, "What do you say to doubters?" I smiled, bracelet glinting. Not everything small is weak. Some things take time. I left, not watching the playback. Claire never apologized. I didn't fight for her regret. I fought for the girl I was, the one they called too much. And I won. The fog outside my Noe Valley apartment was a living thing, curling against the windows like it wanted in. I sat on the couch, the USB drive engraved with Harper and Harper biting into my palm, its weight a reminder of the empire I'd built and the sister who'd stolen it. My name is Emily Harper, and I just survived a second attempt on my life. A laptop explosion that would have turned me to ash if I'd lingered at my desk. The brake lines on my Mercedes, cut clean on the Golden Gate Bridge, were strike one. The office fire was strike two. I wasn't waiting for strike three. Claire's text glowed on my phone. You didn't fit the vision anymore. Sorry it had to be this way. Sorry? She wasn't sorry. She was terrified, and I was about to find out why. The apartment was a tomb, lights flickering from a power surge that felt less like chance and more like sabotage. I powered up my old laptop, the one I kept off Harpergenics network, and plugged in the USB drive. The Harpergenics charter loaded, its text stark against the screen. Clause 7C burned into my retinas. In the event of ethics violations, shares transferred under misrepresentation revert to the originating partner. My name was still there, buried beneath Claire's amendments. She'd overwritten our 50/50 split, claiming sole control, but she'd missed 7C. Why was it hidden? Had I written it in a late-night coding haze? Or was it something darker? Someone else's hand, planting a trap even Claire didn't see. I opened a browser, hands trembling, and searched the USPTO database for the patent on our AI algorithm, the one that powered Harpergenics cancer diagnostics, the one I'd bled for. My name should have been there, etched in digital stone. Instead, Claire Harper stared back, the filing date a month ago. She'd refiled it, stolen my credit while I was still breathing. My chest tightened, rage and betrayal twisting like a double helix. I clicked through to her TED Talk, the one trending across Silicon Valley. Claire stood in her red blazer, smirking under spotlights, delivering my keynote word for word. The line about tissue oxygenation. Oh, tweaked during a 3 a.m. coding sprint while she sipped champagne at an investor gala. Rolled off her tongue like she'd birthed it. The audience roared. I slammed the laptop shut, my breath ragged. The phone buzzed, snapping me back. An unknown number. I answered, voice low. Who's this? A young woman, nervous. Harpergenics front desk. You called about a patent? I straightened. Tell Claire I found it. Silence. Then a click. She'd hung up, but the message was sent. Claire would know I wasn't going quietly. I stood, pacing, the apartment's silence pressing in. That's when I heard it. A creak. Not the building settling, but deliberate, like footsteps in the hall. I froze, heart thudding, and crept to the door. The peephole showed nothing but shadows. I grabbed a kitchen knife, its weight cold in my hand, and cracked the door. The hallway was empty, but a faint scent lingered. Cigarette smoke, sharp and out of place. Someone had been here. I locked the door, shoved a chair under the handle, and returned to the laptop. If Claire wanted war, I'd bring it. I dug through archived emails, finding one from 2017. Gina, our old paralegal. Provisional patent in your name, Emily. Finalized by April 18, or it's vulnerable. 2 months later, a USPTO confirmation showed Claire's name, my diagrams, my footer quote. What saves lives should be born in truth. She'd erase me. I leaned back, the room spinning. 8 years reduced to a lie. But 7C was my lifeline, a secret Claire didn't know she'd left behind. A crash shattered the silence, glass breaking in my bedroom. I grabbed the knife, pulse hammering, and edged down the hall. The window was smashed, curtains flapping in the fog. My filing box where I kept contracts and patent drafts was overturned. Papers gone. The room reeked of cigarette smoke, the same as the hall. I dialed 9109, but the line crackled. Dead. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. Stop digging. Or next time it's not just papers. I stood, knife trembling, the fog outside a witness to my isolation. Claire wasn't just erasing me. She was hunting me. The next morning, I woke to a new email, a cease and desist from Claire's lawyers at Kessler and Klein, accusing me of fraudulent misrepresentation and demanding I retract patent claims. Fraud. They'd twisted the truth into a noose. I rummaged through my closet, finding an NDA from 2019, signed at 11:37 p.m. after a 15-hour coding marathon. Claire had slid it over, saying, "You trust me, right?" I'd signed, eyes half going. Now I read it. All IP, solely owned by Genix Corp's principal signatory, Claire Harper. My name was nowhere. I called Tom, my law school friend in Oakland, and Skyped him the document. His eyes narrowed. This was edited post-signing. Metadata shows it. You didn't sign this version. My stomach lurched. What did I sign? He paused. That's your leverage. I emailed Claire screenshots of the NDA's edit history. No words, just facts. An hour later, she requested access to my Google Docs, my entire cloud backup. She was terrified, scrambling to cover her tracks. I denied the request, heart racing. Then the smear hit. My phone buzzed with notifications, LinkedIn, Twitter, a biotech gossip forum called TechBite, a post with my face cropped from a team photo captioned, "Deranged ex-CIO goes rogue, claimed she invented what she was fired." Doctored DMs painted me as unhinged, obsessive. A blurry CVS photo, me in sweats, claimed I was spiraling. Hashtags like tech meltdown trended. I hadn't said a word publicly, but someone had leaked my private emails. Internal memos, joking chats, twisted into accusations. Who had access? Claire's team, but how deep did this go? At my coffee shop, the barista turned away. Regulars, tech bros who'd once begged for my mentorship, avoided my eyes. The guy who loved my laptop stickers stared at his latte. I left without ordering. The city's pulsecades, cars start up billboards, feeling like a funeral march. I walked to my car, parked near the Embarcadero, and slid into the driver's seat. The dashboard lit up, then flickered. The steering locked, brakes unresponsive. The car lurched forward, accelerating toward the pier's edge. I yanked the emergency brake, heart in my throat. As the car skidded to a stop, inches from the water, my phone buzzed. Next time, no brakes. Someone had hacked the car's system. Claire wasn't just playing dirty, she was playing lethal. I stumbled out, legs shaking, and called Joey. "Car's been hacked. Check the system." He cursed. "Emily, this is corporate level shit. You need to disappear." I didn't. I walked. Fog swallowing me until I reached a bench by the bay. My phone buzzed. A LinkedIn DM from Rachel Blake, a former intern. "Hi, Emily. They erased my code credits too. I have logs. I know what you built." She'd kept time-stamped AI logs, proving I authored the algorithm. Another message. Someone sent me a threat to stay silent. No name, but I'm scared. My breath caught. Who was pulling these strings? Claire or someone bigger? I filed a USPTO correction reclaiming co-inventorship. The next night, Claire called, voice shaky. "Can we clean this up quietly? The media's wild. This isn't what I wanted." I let her hang in silence, then said, "You fired me like a stranger. You don't get my silence." She inhaled sharply and hung up. Hours later, a new smear dropped. A leaked psych evaluation on TechBite, claiming I was unstable, prone to delusion. It was fake, but convincing, stamped with a forged Harpergenics letterhead. My inbox flooded with reporters, old colleagues, even a cousin I hadn't seen in years. One client pulled a joint proposal, no explanation. The world was rewriting me, and I was still alive to watch. I met Tom above a bakery, the scent of croissants grounding me. I want to sue. Termination, defamation, IP theft. He nodded. You're ready for the heat? I said. She dragged me through fire. I'm sending smoke. Rachel sent logs, investor calls where Claire pitched my algorithms, memos she deleted, calendar entries proving I'd built the AI core. I sipped coffee at my usual shop, ignoring the barista's stare when my throat burned. The latte tasted wrong, metallic, sharp. I stumbled to the bathroom, vomiting, vision blurring. The hospital confirmed it. Poison, likely in the milk. I survived, barely. Joey called. Cars, hack, traced to an offshore IP. This ain't just Claire. The smears stopped overnight. Claire's posts vanished. 2 board members resigned, their LinkedIn updates blank. Bioethics Now, a watchdog, dropped a 30-page expose on Claire's falsified AI trial data, citing my 2023 memo warning of discrepancies. Ignored, buried. My name trended again. Whistleblower vindicated. But questions gnawed. Why did Claire's assistant, Mia, flee to Singapore mid-trial? What was on the encrypted drive I'd found in my old desk, locked with a password I didn't know? In the court, Tom presented Klaus 7. Claire's face twisted as the judge ruled her shares reverted to me. She lost her board seat, voting rights gone. Rachel was quietly fired, taking a deal. Leaked audio surfaced. Claire in a boardroom, laughing. Emily's too soft. Let her cry to a judge. It's done. The room gasped. I didn't. I walked out, the bay's wind sharp against my skin. I rented a small office by the water, started a fund for women founders. Grit, no fluff. One interview, a local station. I wore Mom's bracelet, the one Claire called a trinket. The reporter asked, "What do you say to doubters?" I smiled, bracelet glinting. Not everything small is weak. Some things take time. I left, not watching the playback. Claire never apologized. I didn't need it. I fought for the girl I was, the one they called too much. And I won. The encrypted drive sat on my desk, its secrets waiting. I'd crack it soon.